My name's David McKinnon. I'm a professor at Charles Sturt University, New South Wales, Australia. A few years ago we wanted to use big telescopes in high schools and have students use these telescopes to engage in real science. That gave rise to an ARC linkage grant. This grant provided the money for colleagues and I to work with high school teachers and students to use these telescopes in ways that had never been used before. Normally they're only used to take nice, pretty colour pictures. But we wanted the students to use the telescopes to make scientific discoveries. One of those students used the Falk's telescopes, part of the Las Cumbres Global Telescope Network, to image objects in the sky that had never been looked at before. One of those clusters has been analysed by Lauren Inwood, who's now going to talk to you about what happened to her and the impact that the discovery she made had on her life.
Hi, my name's Dr. Lena Danaia and I'm a lecturer at Charles Sturt University. I'm heavily involved in the ARC linkage grant Space to Grow, and my focus is on the educational research that's attached to the project. I'm about to talk with Lauren Inwood, who is one of the students that's been involved in the project, and ask her a few questions about what she was doing in the Space to Grow project. Lauren, tell me how you became involved with the Space to Grow project.
At the end of Year 10, Professor McKinnon came to the school and ran the Space to Grow project. He taught us about astronomy and showed us how observations of stars could be used to perform archaeology on the universe. It was a really exciting project for me because it showed me real science and showed me some examples of applications of science and maths that we were learning in school. I really enjoyed the Space to Grow program, and after the lessons finished I decided that I wanted to keep studying stars and star clusters.
So what happened next?
Well, I started working with 2 Canadian students and other scientists, and we studied a star cluster that didn't have very much known about it. I continued analysing this star cluster throughout Year 11, and eventually we disproved what other scientists had thought about the cluster. We discovered that this cluster may actually be 2 clusters, so one in front of the other. And that was really exciting for me because it meant that I was doing real science and contributing knowledge to the scientific community. I also entered a video in the Eureka Sleek Geeks Science competition about the work that I'd done, and I got highly commended.
Congratulations, Lauren, that's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
So what's happened, Lauren, since your involvement with the project?
Well, my participation in Space to Grow has actually changed what I want to do with my life. Originally I wanted to be a maths teacher because I was good at maths and I enjoyed problem solving, but Space to Grow showed me some really interesting science and showed me some things that I'd never even thought about before, and so that was really exciting. And now I want to be a science teacher because I want to pass on to others the motivation and the passion for science that Space to Grow has given me.
So you've just finished Year 12, Lauren, and I believe you've done really well.
I ended up getting an ATAR in the high 90s, and now I'm going to university to study science and education. I ended up being offered 2 scholarships that will allow me to study science and education at uni to train to become a science teacher. And part of that involves me actually getting a job as a science teacher after I graduate, and so that's really exciting for me.
That's fantastic, Lauren.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Lauren, have you got any advice for students who are following you?
Yeah, I would advise them to take as many opportunities as they can and always say yes to the opportunities they're given, because that's how I got into the Space to Grow program, and I found it a really, really good program because it's allowed me to make a groundbreaking discovery and really make a fantastic contribution to science. And so, yeah, I'd really just advise them to go for their goals and do whatever they can to get there.
So the Space to Grow program runs currently in New South Wales, but we want schools not only in Australia but all around the world to be using the Las Cumbres Observatory Global Telescope Network to get these observations. Currently they've got 2 2-metre class telescopes, more than 5 1-metre class telescopes. That means the mirrors are 1 metre across, and 2 meters across. And so these telescopes you can access from your classroom to make observations of celestial objects and undertake research with your science teachers. And that's real science, done by students. Lauren didn't mention it, but she is a co-author on a paper on that cluster of stars that she has examined with the 2 Canadian students, and they also are co-authors. But the other co-authors are scientists, because this is truly scientific discovery, and it's happening in school.